quite the pitchers matchup today. Clayton Kershaw versus Dylan Cease. What are you hoping just to see from this matchup, and I guess especially from Clayton Kershaw with his outing?
It's a good one. I think that everyone loves a pitching matchup, and obviously Cease coming off a no-hitter. It'll be interesting to see, knowing he'll be up to pitch against us as well. But for Clayton, it's I think my hope is 5-80, 85, something like that. We got him through 4 last time, so if we can get him through the 5th inning, that'd be great.
With what you've been seeing from him kind of stuff-wise, do you feel like it's been with what you've expected of it?
Yeah, I think, like we talked about before, and even his side session this past week, just the command is really good. The stuff, the spinning, the slider, the curveball, using the changeup more, which is good. So just really excited where Clayton's at, and just feel like there's just a lot of room for him to build off of what he already has done.
Jack Flaherty said he would leave it up to you to announce when he's making his Dodger debut. Are you comfortable to do that right now?
Yeah, he's going to start on Saturday. Okay. So we're excited. I know he's chomping at the bit. He hasn't pitched in a while, so it's just nice to get him here, get a side session in, meet the coaches, and kind of get his feet under him before he makes that first start for us.
Is that still in the Kopech bucket as well? He hasn't pitched in a while going back to Chicago. Would you like to get him in the game tonight?
Absolutely. I've already talked to Michael, and he's going to get in there tonight. So I don't know what part of the game, but it's 5 days off. It's that point where we just got to get him in a ball game.
I mean, you're going to have Stone on Friday and River Sunday.
Correct.
How was the decision between River and Justin? Like, how tough was that for you guys?
It was tough. I think we just wanted to see a little bit more from River, but Justin did a fantastic job, and it wouldn't surprise me to see him back up here at some point.
The last week to 10 days, the 9th inning has been a little unsettled. How unsettled is it in your mind who you can trust to get the last 3 outs of the game?
That's a good question. I don't know, right now if it's tonight going to be, Hudson, Phillips, Banda. I just don't know yet. Kopech. It's been one of those things that, to be quite honest, in the last 30 days, we really haven't pitched well as a unit. And I think that with the bullpen, it's at the end of the game, it just gets more magnified, and I get that. But truth be told, we just haven't really been good as a staff in the last 30 days. So I think that, to your question, I still don't feel that we have a dedicated guy in the 9th inning. I don't know who that's going to be tonight in a plus save situation. But I think the bigger focus is for me is to kind of right the ship, build off the start that we had last night from Tyler, and just as a staff continue to be better.
Are you a believer in closer by committee can work?
I'm a believer that there's no one way to do things. I think that every roster construction dynamic, as you assess, should dictate. It certainly makes my job easier if there's just one guy. Absolutely. I don't know if it's the right way to go about it. So I do think that you can win games with a closer by committee. I think we're a case study. We've done it. We've won a lot of ball games still. We're in a little rut, I think, the last few games or a handful of games, but I still believe in our guys.
Fair to say, though, the beginning part of the season, you had a guy, Evan, who's no longer that guy right now.
Right. And I think it would be great to get Evan back to that. But I will say that in the beginning of the season, when he was taking down a lot of the finishing of games, he still pitched in the 8th inning too, in certain leverage games. But yeah, when we were winning and, coming back from injury, just getting him back from injury has been something that, he hasn't been right since then. So there might be something in there, but I have all the confidence in them too.
You both had Ryan Yarbrough. You had someone who could give you length and give you kind of, I guess, that blow to the bullpen that gives some guys some rest. Who can you look to have that role now, or if you need that role? Could that be a Michael Grove? Do you build him up, or is there thought that maybe one of these younger guys, Lesky or maybe River Ryan down the line, that maybe one of them could be a bulk guy out of the bullpen?
So Michael is on his way back. He will be a multiple inning guy. Yeah, if you look at the construction of the roster, the bullpen right now, it's more of an up down doing versus what Yarbs gave us. So what that does, that puts the incentive on the starters to be able to go deeper in games. So you're not using 4 or 5 guys in a night. When Michael gets back, he'll be that guy. But when that happens, we'll have that discussion. The other guys that you mentioned, I think we're just not there yet as far as figuring out what their role might be. Those starters.
When you're making the ninth inning decisions right now, how much are you looking at, the full season statistics and how guys match up against certain runs of the lineup versus how guys have been pitching the last couple of weeks when there have been struggles late in games?
I'm more looking at. It's a combo. I think that it's not fair to just be so reactionary because in one particular moment you don't know who's going to be on, who's going to have success. So I think that the body of work should hold some weight. The recency should have weight. Usage and what my expectation on performance I think should also be baked in, and all that is stuff that I consider when I make that decision, and on top of the right lanes or the putting that pitcher in the best position for him to have success.
And when you talk about, obviously it'd be easier if you had a closer or a ninth inning guy. Like when you go through the last couple months of the season, how do you kind of decide if you're going to give somebody a chance to become that guy versus continuing to use guys in the lanes that maybe fit best for him? Is there a threshold where somebody can kind of earn that distinction?
Absolutely. I think that goes with neutrality. All the guys that we have that have finished games, I believe in their ability, their heartbeat, their stuff. But I think the closer, in the sense of that, is the ability to handle the moment, which I feel we have a lot of guys that can do that. They've shown that. The other part is the neutrality, where you don't have massive splits. And so when that person shows himself consistently, and then you can start to deploy other guys in their respective lanes in the 6th, 7th, and 8th inning, then you got something. And I'm not saying that might not happen for us this year.
Is there anything you can pinpoint with trying in the last couple of outings that's led to what has happened?
Execution. Bregman's a sinker, middle. Manny, sinker, belt line. And I will say that the Merrill cutter was in off, so that was not an execution. I don't know if that was a tendency thing that they were hunting. So I think, honestly, Jim, I think it's just a combo, but I would say being able to get ahead of hitters and making quality pitches is usually the reason why, guys give up hits, let alone slug.
Do you expect to have any of the relievers back by next homestand, the ones that are on rehab right now?
Well, the first guy that would be in line would be Michael Grove. So I don't know exactly, but I think that next homestand is a fair timetable for Michael. I think that's close, yeah.
With Flaherty, there was a report about the back maybe being an issue for some of the trade targets. How comfortable are you that it won't be an issue next couple months for you?
I'm very comfortable. I just talked to him today. He feels great. Training staff says he looks great, feels good. So I know he liked the way he was used, and he's having a tremendous season. So I plan on just kind of building on that.
And when's Walker making his next start for Oakland?
That's a great question. I don't know that yet. Walker or Bobby. I'll find that out, but I don't know right now.
Dave, going back to what you said to Jim about the tendency maybe cheating on that. Do you feel like these teams that have the talent within your division to compete with you, that they know you guys better than other teams and they might be hunting your tendencies?
Yes, I do, and that just comes with familiarity. So our guys have to, the catchers included, the coaches included, and the pitchers, most important, have to be willing to get uncomfortable and not go to their strengths all the time, be willing to kind of, zig and zag and not be so predictable. I think that that's part of where the game, we all have the same information. And so where, there was a competitive advantage when certain teams were archaic, it just seems like everyone's kind of caught up and the game planning is much better. So what does that tell you? You've got to make adjustments. And so I believe that the teams that are quicker, the players that are quicker to adjust will have better short and long-term success.
Realizing that Bueller and Miller are both being prepared to start, is there a possibility at some point that you might use these guys out of the bullpen if it comes to that?
I think honestly, the honest answer is we just want to get these guys back to performing and having success. And then once we get to that point, then we can have a conversation. But I think that conversation, I still think, we're a ways away from that. Mookie is taking swings from a pitcher coach. Feels good. Max yesterday had a real good breakthrough with how he felt. So I'm really encouraged. I talked to him by text today. And so I think that we've kind of crossed a hurdle. Miggy Rose doing well. CT's moving around. So I think those four guys, I think the last couple of days have been a big step. I still don't have a timeline for Max or Mookie, but I think, Mookie in the next couple of weeks, I think is very realistic. And I think, Max is going to need some more time as far as on a rehab assignment, but really, really trending in the right way.
I'm going to start. How many games or at bats is going to be?
I think Mookie is going to be more of a sim game guy. If he decides to go out on rehab, it would be short. I don't know that. Max is going to have to go on rehab. So just with the length of time.
You say Max?
Crossed the hurdle, it feels good, all those kind of things. What's he doing that's different?
There was a chiropractic adjustment that kind of aligned things in there, in the ribs, which is great, So, when everything's telling you that you're healthy and you're fine, sometimes it's kind of a body lineup thing that gets things back in line, right? So that's something that he was pretty excited about.
So is he swinging again?
He is, I think he starts swinging again tomorrow.
Is it fair to say batting practice for Mookie is
Yeah, that's right. Thank you for asking.
Thank you.
With Yoshinobu, is he still online to pitch?
That should be, his pen should be Friday. Yeah.
Okay, it's pen week.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.